What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Deep Space Tycoon Reborn. As you can see, we are currently loading into the game, and I got two things to tell y'all. So, which one you want first? I might honestly, I got a story to tell too later. Actually, no, I'm telling you now. I've been recently watching Fast and Furious, but so we just watched. Me and my dad just watched Fast 5 last night. Fast and Furious 5. Um, We just watched that last night, and I loved how when the guy had to come, one of the guys had to come and give The Rock the bad news. He's like, got bad news and good news. He's like, I like my dessert first. After he said the good news, he's like, all right, now give me the veggies. So that's what I might do for y'all. I might give you your dessert first. I might give you your veggies later. Good news is we get to move on to the new ship, so we're gonna do that now. Also, the series gets to continue, and you'll see why when I say the bad news. So, we're just gonna buy this entire room real quick, and then I will explain the bad news. So, bad news was, after the last episode of episode 6, when I got done making it, I went to bed, like I said, because, or was that episode? I don't know. I got off, I think I went to bed afterward, because it was so late, and I was so tired, I actually just, I went, brushed my teeth, and the second I hit the bed, I was out like a light. Then the next day, I slept all the way, because I'm pretty sure it was 11 o'clock at night. I slept all the way to 12 at this time. So I'm like, okay, I'm so tired here. And I forgot it was daylight savings times. So really, I slept to 11, but because of daylight savings, I slept to 12. And then that started off the stressful week, which I will explain with one of those Lime Story things that I've made last episode. But the bad news I was trying to say is, this game, when I got on the next day, was gone. And I mean, straight gone off Roblox. I'm like, okay, it's not on my recently played. Maybe it got moved, because games tend to do that on my thing. Games will randomly appear that I haven't played, and then games will disappear that I have played recently. I'm like, okay, maybe that's the case, and they just disappeared. I look it up, and it's nowhere to be found. I don't know if it's... And then I'm like, okay, that's not good. I'm going to have to delete the series. So glad I didn't do that. Instead, I waited out the stressful week, which, again, I will explain in a little bit, because it was not just a stressful week for me. Oh. That would have been bad if I kept going. If I kept going, that would have happened. But now I'm falling. But it would have been bad, because, then the past 6 episodes, all, of those hard hours of work, editing the video, making the thumbnail, making the video, would have been gone. And I'm just making sure we got all of these done. Yep, all of them done. I'm like, okay, this is bad, this is bad. Come yesterday for me, which was the end of the week, because today I'm filming this is Pi Day. I'm like, it come yesterday, the 13th, Friday the 13th, which we've had 2 this year, February the 13th, and March the 13th, which honestly I missed out on scaring happy couples on the 13th. I missed that. I didn't realize until it was already Valentine's Day when my friend sent me a reel on Instagram. But coming to that, I'm like, okay, this ain't good. This ain't good at all. No, come yesterday, I'm like, the game's back. Let's go. I didn't delete all my work. Even if I did, I still have all the videos saved on my editing software area. So I would have been able to re-upload them. It just wouldn't have been the same. So yeah, that's the bad and good news. So there you go. Now, in middle through the video, I'll explain the stressful week I've had. But now, let's buy some ship upgrades. I purposely bought all the green because they ain't useful. But also, I want to be able to see the ship being upgraded. Because, buying these, engine wing, these give me more areas to explore. So I can explore the last 3, well, kind of last 3 without the rebirth world. So really we have, after this, oh, I saw that one get placed. 5 rebirths, not 5 rebirths, 5 worlds left, and I am on the last rebirth. If you look on the thing, like I looked on the thing, like the description of the page, and it said there are 3 out of 8 rebirths. I am currently on my 3rd rebirth. No, 2nd rebirth. Yeah, 2nd rebirth. I'm currently on the 2nd rebirth. I finished 1 rebirth, then I finished. So yeah, I'm on the 2nd rebirth. After I finish this, I'll be on my 3rd rebirth. Which means then, once I finish that world and rebirth again, if I can rebirth again, I'm gonna have to wait until they release the other 2. Or other 5. Anyway, yeah, that's done. Let's buy this. And then once we get into that 2nd zone, because this zone's fully complete with the money, I will explain the stressful week I've had. And honestly, it's unusual for a stressful week for me. During 2nd semester of school. 1st semester, yeah, it's always stressful. I get home till like 7 o'clock on average at 7 o'clock on average. Unless it's a Friday, then I ain't getting home till midnight. More on that later. That's 1st semester though. So, yeah, it's pretty weird for me to have a stressful week during 2nd semester. But now let's get some money, because, you know, we don't have enough money. You know, we ain't making enough. We're not even, like, denting the money. We're not even denting it. And boom, there we go. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all of the first chunk of the ship. I could go out and buy more chunks of the ship. I could, but I'm not. Instead, I'm going to buy useless cosmetics that don't even dent my money. I remember the first ship. That video took 3 hours of making. And then now this one's like just flying by. Love how that works. And we'll get a side view of the ship. Don't worry, we can get a side view. I just gotta buy those portals, which should be somewhere in the back area. Hey, look! It's the volcano island. What is that? Are those just 2 plates floating on top of each other? And look, we got the lava planet. That looks like a volcano. That just looks like a box. That looks like 2 floating platforms on top of each other. But nice. Now, it's time to learn about my stressful week. So cue the, what's it called? Give me some names in the comments. For now, for this series, I'm going to call it the Lime Transition. Yep, cue the Lime Transition. And we're back from the Lime Transition. Alright, we're just gonna keep buying while we talk. But my stressful week, and honestly, it started on Monday, like a normal week would. Monday, though, it was supposed to be the only day I didn't have any, like, thing to do for school. Which was great, because every other day I had something. But because I wasn't going to be in class on Wednesday for something, I had to stay after to take that math test, or AP math test. AP pre-cal math test. And I'm like, okay. Keep in mind, I forgot it was daylight savings time, so our teacher's clock was not set, like, an hour forward. So I'm over here doing the math test. First half, yeah, that's pretty simple. Pretty easy. I don't know what I made because it's a 2-part thing, and I don't know if she handed me the quiz or the task part. I know it said, like, minus 13 on it, but I'm pretty sure it said it read a 71. So I'm going to have to ask her about that when I get back to school and be like, hey, can I see my math test or quiz? And be like, double check that grade because, like, I never actually got my math quiz back. I don't know what, probably because she handed them back, like, for us to check on Wednesday and I wasn't in Wednesday. So I'm over here, like, I got this. I turned to the back. First problem, simple. Second problem, no clue what to do. Next problem, okay, I know that. Last problem, no clue what to do. And then the other 2 people there that were taking the test, they already finished. And then the person I was taking the quiz also already finished. So I'm like, okay, well, they're gone. I can ask for help now. How do I do this? And she's like, yeah, just turn the find a way to turn that cosine squared into a sine. It was that simple. It was that simple. And then I'm over here working it. I'm like, wait, that can't work because that's a negative 1. That would have to be. And then she's like, did you, because it was equal to 2, you have to equal it to 0. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't do that either. Yeah, so, yeah, there's the math test. Tuesday, I had a French test, which I think I did good. I'm pretty sure I got an A. I don't remember. But, yeah. So, we took the French test. It honestly was pretty simple, except for the part where we had to write a paragraph. I don't like writing that, because I can't write French. I don't know French. I can, like, speak French. I just can't read it, understand it, write it. Everything except speak it. And we're already almost done with the new ship. And it's only been a little bit. We've barely lost money. So that was Tuesday. And now I'm pretty sure it's either the rest of the video is going to be me talking about the week. Wow. I go into the artifact room. Alright. So that was Tuesday for you. And with Tuesday, and then after school for Tuesday, I had to stay for a thing called LGPE. Don't ask me what it stands for, because I don't even know what the E stands for. I just know it's Large Group Performance, I think, Ensemble. But yeah, we didn't do as good as I wanted. Because before this year, I've gotten all 1s in that area. This year was the only year I didn't get all 1s. I got a singular 1, and then 3 2s, which 1 is the best, 2 is the next best. And with that, we got a temple. But with that being that, I couldn't really do much about it. All I know is the sight reading judge we had, I could not do anything about that because I wasn't sight reading. But he was, he's like one of the band members for the Savannah Bananas. And then I didn't realize that until we were leaving. So I'm like, dude, I wanted his autograph because I love the Savannah Bananas, especially the One Piece guy. I don't know his name. I just know he's One Piece. He's a One Piece guy. So we're going to chill in here and talk. So with that being that, we got done with our LGPE, but that was Thursday. We're still on Tuesday. So I'm helping with the middle school LGPE, volunteering for band. He comes up to me that day and he's like, hey, so I know you're volunteering tomorrow, Wednesday, during school as stage crew, which is someone that sets up the stage for the band people. He's like, I had someone drop the position of band guide. Are you fine doing that? I'm like, yeah, sure. I didn't realize until when I was volunteering that you have to actually dress nice to be a band guide. So I had to like dress up in business casual, which is just I just wore khakis and then like a long sleeve shirt. So then I'm over here. I get there early, because it starts at we start working at 7:30 and end working at 3:30. So it's a 9 to 5, but an hour and a half ahead, and we're not getting paid, so it's not really a 9 to 5. But with it being that, I'm over here, and he's like, all right, band guides, the sheet is out front. See who you're working with. I go out front. No one's by my name. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm working alone. Another one of my friends comes up to me and is like, hey, we're working together. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, he just forgot to write my name down. So I'm like, oh, okay. This person is in one of my classes, and actually, like, we're pretty good friends, I would say. Well, I'm more friends with her boyfriend in middle school. At least I think they're still dating. I'm not 100% sure. No one tells me anything in like school of my friend groups, so I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know is we actually like had a decently good time, like working together. Is what I'm trying to get behind. Like working together with her was not as bad as like one of the other people, because one of the other people, I don't know them. I don't know, because they're not percussionists, so I don't really know most people outside of percussion. They're like seniors, and then people I would used to talk to in middle school, or people that I just don't really necessarily like. So we're working together. Our first band doesn't show up until like 11. So we're just chilling with our friends that are doing the sound system, just sitting there. I'm playing Geometry Dash, trying to get all 3 stars on the second level, which let me actually figure out what level that one was. Let me just quickly pull up the game. I have the light version too. I'm broke. Back on track. I was trying to get all 3 coins for back on track. It took like probably 10 minutes because I kept dying because I suck at the game. But with that being that, when they said you guys, when our friends were like, you guys aren't even doing anything, I'm like, yes I am. I'm focused right now. I'm trying to get all the gold coins and back on Geometry Dash. My friend that I was working with said valid. They like it's pretty good valid thing to do. So we're working. One of the schools, they come in. They our first school, they come in, they play, they sound pretty good. We wait in the sight reading room, we take them out. I see a wasp nest forming during the first band, forming outside the back door of our band room. I'm like, okay, I need to tell the band director this. So once the first band leaves, I go hunt down our band director. I'm like, hey, there's a wasp nest starting to form on the hangover for the back door. He's like, all right, I'll fix it. Thanks for telling me. Our next band comes, like, we meet the director. He literally comes out the bus, shakes our hands, and it's like, all right, I need you, pointing to the partner, I want you to take me to the registrations desk, points to me, and I want you to guide my band into the practice room. So I'm waiting for their band. My partner, I need to find a new way instead of partner. My coworker, there we go. My coworker is already leaving with their band director. Is already leaving, and the kids are still getting off the bus. And then I don't really take out their instruments because I thought that I could in the other place, but they weren't. So instead, I take them with their instruments in the case into their practice room. When I get there, my coworker's like, "Why didn't you take their cases out?" I'm like, "I thought the other location was free. When I looked, it was, but it wasn't." So that was that. This was all Wednesday, by the way. I'm just explaining. And then I don't want to say their band director was mean, but like when we first met him, he was so nice. We actually see him practicing with the band, and he's like mean. But honestly, he has a valid reason. Because here's the valid reason: when the percussionists are on stage, because I'm guiding them to the stage, and one of my other friends, or no, this one's definitely a coworker. We do not talk outside of band. Like we are definitely like neutral toward each other. Like we don't like each other, but we also don't really extremely hate each other. We hate each other, but not like extremely much. Because we actually had to work together during marching season as section leaders. But she's asking one of the people, "Hey, what percussion keys do you play?" Which keys are the marimba, xylophone, vibraphone, bells, chimes. Those are like the 5 keys. And he's like, I don't know. We alternate. And she's like, okay, between what? The dude said percussion. I could see, and then I'm like, okay, I need to get out of here. And then I instantly go to my band guide part, and then I instantly go to the band guide, my band guide coworker that I was like working with, and then we're guiding them in. I'm like, I can see why he's so angry, and she's like, why? I'm like, when we were asking the percussionists what instruments they play, they said, what do you alternate between? And they said percussion. They said, I don't know. They said percussion. They said they alternate. And she's like, they were like, what alternate between what? And the dude said percussion. She literally looked at me, did the stressed face, and we're like, yeah, we could see why their band director is so mean to them. They honestly, and then I'm not gonna say if they sounded good or bad because they're middle schoolers, so like they're definitely. There are some good middle school bands, but there are also some others that are not as good. But during the third piece of the music, the band director stopped them like at the beginning, and you could hear we were near a judge because we were with our friends with the tech. They were like, "Oh, we're stopping during the band. That's interesting." He restarted the piece. I don't know actually what they got. I hope they scored high, and then during sight reading, the dude was telling the percussionist how to count because he forgot how to count. During our last band, though, I had a dip early. I've changed locations because someone was calling me. So, yeah, I've ate 3 croissants in that time. But I'm pretty sure at last I checked up the footage, I was at a place where I was talking about the last band, which unfortunately I had a dip early for, so I left at 3 because I had to catch my bus to head home. Which, honestly, I feel like if I stayed till 3, I still would have gotten home before because we stayed until 12 in the bus, like in the parking lot because of traffic. And honestly, this was like a rich school, and then I saw them again during my LGPE, and I say their full name when I'm like there. I'm not saying them now because I don't want to, but I always say their full name, and then they're like, "Why don't you just use their abbreviation?" I'm like, I'm lazy. I'm too lazy to say their abbreviation. So yeah, but I had a dip early for that, so I asked my coworker for that on Thursday in anatomy, like, "Hey, how did they do, by the way?" And she's like, "Oh, they did decent." She was still mad at me that I had left. And then when we were playing the space one, like the space planet one, I'm over here playing, and someone attacks me. I literally was going left. They were going left. So I went right, and they went right and ran right into me. After our entire class made a peace treaty. So then I'm just attacking people, and I'm just like, I lose all those. So I just gave up. I'm a little tiny square in the corner. So I'm just like, not square, circle. I'm just a little circle in the corner. I'm just sitting there. She comes up. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And then she's like, "Huh?" And she sees me, and she is physically dying of if someone says I'm dying of laughter, she was literally actually dying of laughter over here. She was wheezing, and our teacher was like, "Are you good?" And she's like, "Look at," and then she clips the teacher moves to my screen, and it's just like the smallest person you see next to all these giant planets, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I gave up. She was physically dying of laughter. So, and then yeah, that was Thursday. Thursday. I'm all dressed up because I'm not leaving school because I'm staying after because we have to catch a bus to the high school, which we used to just be able to. Our school used to be able to do the LGPE for high school for us because of our old band director, but he went to go get his doctorate's degree in band directing, and we're moving locations to the left side. But yeah, so he went to go get his doctorate's degree, and I'm supporting him. He came back actually on one of those. He came back. I think it was Monday. He came back or Tuesday. He came back on one of those days. Yeah, Tuesday. He came back. He was actually so thin. He used to have like a little gut belly, like most people do. Now he's like actually thin. And then when me and one of my friends on Tuesday were talking about it, she pulled up his Instagram, scrolled through some. She gave me one, and I scrolled through it. At the end, it was just his face, like a picture of his face, so zoomed in. I'm like, holy jump scare! And she's like, "Well, I show it," and I just show her the picture of just his face, and she's like, "Yup, jump scare right there." Oh, I do miss him though. Like when he actually came, I went hunting for my other friends. I went into the uniform closet. I'm like, they're just sitting there. I'm like, "Hey, he's our old band director's back," and they're like, "Really?" They came running out, and he was there. So that was nice. But yeah, our LGPE, we didn't do as good as I wanted. You already know. We got all ones, and I mean not all ones, all twos, but one, which we got a one, which was sad. And then we were there for another 1 hour waiting on a bus. Waiting for a bus, not on a bus, waiting for a bus to come to pick us up. But that didn't happen. for a while, and then Friday came. I actually used a different sleeping mask, but the one that usually I have like this thick one that covers your face, but it's like a thick thing instead of the thin one I use. And honestly, I had like the best sleep of my night there. And I needed that. I woke up instantly, went downstairs, and made me an egg burrito because unfortunately, being in an AP class comes with AP mock exams, and it's not the AP exam, it's a mock exam, which means it's a knowledge. It's gonna like it gets you prepared for what the AP exam would look like, and it took 4 class periods to do. Me and my friends are over here taking it. We get to lunch. We're all playing a mobile game together. We get to anatomy, me and Marcus. We're over here. We have a quiz this period. I get 100 easily. It's over the urinary system. I get 100 because it's not really a hard unit. All you need to know are the kidneys, the bladder, what the kidneys are made of, like the disorders like kidney stone, all that. I get 100 easily, and then when when we were playing the book it to help us review, I'm over here just slowly slipping out my seat, just slowly sliding out my seat, and yeah, just slowly sliding out my seat. And then once the actual quiz is over, and she puts on an Amiibo Sisters video on the digestive system, because that's the second half of the unit we're learning. I literally just sit on the floor. I'm laying on the floor here. I'm just laying on the floor watching the video. She's just fine with it. I get to engineering. I take another quiz for social studies because I missed it because I had not the LGP. I had the AP mock exam. I get to math, and I'm like, if she gives us a paper, I will rip. If she gives us a math paper, like a math homework or crap, I'm taking that paper and ripping it in front of her. We get into class, she's like, I'm not making you guys do any more math. Y'all did it for 4 class periods. Here's a deck of cards, or do whatever. Just, you don't have to, we're not doing anything in this class. I'm like, bet. I'm glad I recently made a friend in this class, because we just played Go Fish with the deck of cards, where you had to get all 4 of the same card, and we counted them by points, with the jokers being 20s. Like, you get both of them, you get a 20. We both won even amount of times on who had the most points, but he won overall because if we were doing based on how many cards, I only had one time where I had more cards than him, while he had the other 3. And today, Saturday, Pi Day, I fully deep cleaned I looked under, I was going to grab my shoes from under, my slippers from under my bed. A centipede crawled out. I'm like, that is disgusting. I went under, took a flashlight to find him. Saw how much dust was under there. I killed the centipede. Saw how much dust was under there. I'm like, yeah, no, I need a vacuum. I vacuumed my whole room. I moved my dressers up, closer, so I could vacuum underneath them. I just realized I didn't move my nightstand, but that's fine. I moved everything. I even put stuff in the hallway. And then I was going to make, a room tour video on that, but, that would have disrupted the series, because there would just be a video in between the series, which would have been weird. So instead, I didn't do it. But when I was cleaning the window, the thing that, blocks, the blinds, it just snapped out of place when I put the Legos there. And there's a giant wasp nest. I have a picture of it. There's a giant wasp nest growing in my window. And there's nothing I can do because there's no way out of there's a frame or that string layer between me, the window, and that, and that is just weird because if I open the window, the wasp are coming in my room. That's the only way to get rid of the nest. But that wasp has been there, I'm pretty sure, since November or December. It's been there for a while. I'm like, okay, he'll die eventually. He has not died. Instead, there's more. There's two wasps. There's two wasps now. Two. So yeah, that's fun. So I guess I'm building an army of wasp. Call me the wasp. I'm now the wasp. I'm no longer Line Bed One. I'm now the wasp. This is my applic. I'm looking for an ant man or an ant woman. I don't care. I'm just looking for an ant. So yeah, if you feel like you're qualified for the position, comment down below. But yeah, there's my stressful week, and also we're going to head into the right side, or the back, return backside view. Here's the back side, and turn to the right side. Here's the right side. And yeah, this is gonna be the end of today's video. Sorry it wasn't really much about the game, instead of more just me ranting on and on about my week. But I promise you, next video will be more about the game. And also, there is going to be a color warning for next video because of the ocean. I don't know why the game developers decided to make it like the brightest color you could think of. You'll know what I'm talking about next episode when it comes out. But anyway, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you have a great whatever time of day it is for you, or night. And if it's night, I hope you're going to bed soon, because I don't know what you have. You could have a huge big test tomorrow, or you could have an important date tomorrow, something I could never experience. So I hope you have a great rest of whatever time it is, and I will see you in the next one. Lime out.